Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unique episode today, interviewing a unique guest hailing from Detroit, Michigan, and he says he is Detroit in the interview. It's Marv Won, and he is promoting his new album, I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking. It includes a feature list, including Elzhi, Freeway, rapper Big Pooh, Quelle Chris, and on my favorite personal track, Grand Piano, he has Nate Curry and The Saga. This album is out now. It's on all digital streaming platforms, but to best support the artist, it's best to buy a physical copy. He has cassettes, vinyls, and CDs. And this is a unique opportunity for us.
Yeah, and this video you can screenshot, and the QR code here will take you straight to his website where you can purchase one of those, hopefully physical copies. Let's do that, especially, you know, with Marv. He's been showing a lot of love to Utah, and he's been investing here in the hip-hop scene as an outsider, and this man is a hip-hop legend. So let's show some support back to, you know, a man that's been here since the second Mic Masters, just building with us. We've had a chance to obviously work with him just with the battles, but we've never had the chance to just sit down and chop it up. So we really appreciate the opportunity to do so. It's a really fun interview, and this is not just any regular album. This is a candidate for Album of the Year, and he says it now. This man has worked with a lot of the people you have as GOATs. He's a very, very great, talented writer, and you know, just make sure you show support. It's going to be, again, a great album, and Utah, let's pull through. Make sure you comment, like, follow Marv Won on all his socials, MarvWon, and let's run this up, and just a chance to celebrate a sit down with the legend that happened here in Utah.
Absolutely. Thank you for Marv Won's team for helping make this happen. Thank you guys for tuning in, and a special thanks for Marv Won for pulling up and letting us have this unique opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, Marv Won.
Oh, man. Hey, look, man. Hey, look, I just want to say, man, you know, I'm a Utah native at this point. I'm a Salt Lake native. Shouts, man, go to the Sauce Boss. Get you know what I'm saying? Get your soul food. You know I know.
Yeah.
You know I know, baby.
We were gonna get in some of Auntie's cooking, but we didn't know, you know. We were still. He came in on Detroit time. He's like, "I'll be there by."
Yeah, I'm sorry.
3 o'clock, but it was Eastern time.
That would mean he would have to be 2 hours earlier. But yeah,
that's crazy. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Man, thank you guys for having me, man. This is really a surreal moment for me, especially coming out here with the battle rap and seeing what you guys do with the pay-per-views and things like that, and just how fluid you guys move together. This is super dope for me, so I'm super excited about the conversation.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate you. For some reason, you know, I always felt like I never liked to ask or anything like that, but I think I just been focused on, well, all of us just building Mic Masters. You know what I mean? Like AKA building it together. So
Marv
I think
Masters.
Marv Masters.
Marv Masters.
Are we rebranding?
We're
time for the rebrand, bro.
Oh, we just got a chain finally.
No,
you know?
we get a new chain now.
Yeah, are you gonna give us a new chain,
yeah.
Marv?
You gotta talk to Nate about that, bro. That's
Marv
not my
Masters.
department.
I'll wear that.
That's not my department.
You know, we gotta go with Marv.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man. It's crazy out here.
But I did want to ask you this, Marv, just kind of off the rip, because you got an album coming up, and I feel like right now with hip hop, there's like a lot of people, and just in general, there's always like everybody takes from hip hop. I feel like, you know, so what's Marv doing in Utah? Like, you know, when I think about it, a lot of it's like you're giving back, even with your music, with your new album. It's got, you know, it's like a lot of, I mean, you got bars regardless, but just all the messages you're putting on and all the storytelling. Like, do you feel like you're kind of in that era where you're just now like also you can still contribute to hip hop, but you can also give back? There's more you to give to hip hop than to take at this point.
I think I'm in a space in hip hop where I'm comfortable with who I am outside of hip hop, and it reflects in the music. I think a lot of times we deem hip hop as being so much better than the next person, and most of the time selling like false realities. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a movie, and people are becoming characters, and I've been guilty of it as well. But I just think at this point in my life, where I feel like I don't have anything to prove to anyone, I can be a little bit more vulnerable. I can be a little bit more transparent with where I am and my thought process and my creativity. And if I can meld them, you get this project. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to give something back to hip hop, but I want to give it back to the people who started with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like they're the people who are forgotten. Like in today's industry, like it's so microwave, and it's just we got to pump out the next hit, we got to pump out the next dance. And if I'm 35, 40, I'm not necessarily dancing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily care about, all the people you can put in your bed or how big your moissanite chain is. You know what I'm saying? And you want something that kind of like sticks to the ribs. And I'm like, I feel like that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I feel
Sound like
that's
soul
where I'm at.
food music.
You dig?
Yes.
Was that a fat joke?
I'm fat too, so
I respect.
it's more
that.
It
like a fat
neutralizes
confession.
it, you know?
Fat confession,
I
okay?
respect that.
But you got that bar on Good Things, so maybe you can, it's, when you can see the sunset, something like that. And
Kind of worried because my time ain't come yet.
yeah, so when did you kind of start, I guess, maybe seeing that or coming to peace with kind of like just what we
Well,
were
I haven't
touching on
come to
before?
peace with it, but I just know it's a reality. A lot of people haven't come to peace with the dying.
Yeah.
But you know it's a reality. Like, it's a thing that's coming.
Because that part's hard, bro. Just even it's so small, but it's like so powerful, bro. It's
I
just
mean,
like,
the reality is that, you know what I'm saying, I've put every egg I've had in this basket since I was 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've sacrificed relationships, I've sacrificed meals, I've sacrificed friendships, because this is what I felt my calling was. So I think I'm getting to the point where I know it'll never love me as much as I love it. And I think that's the
damn, that's crazy.
I think
man.
that's the realization. I think that's the part that I become cool with. Because it's one of those things where it's like, you love it so much, you'll do it for free. So it's like, even if I go get a job at the factory, I still want to create. Because that's what my makeup is.
Yeah.
But I know it doesn't necessarily owe me anything. And I think that's where I'm at. When I was 18, 19, I felt, I wanted to be Jay-Z. Like, I wanted to be whoever the big popping artist was. And in Detroit, like, our whole thing is, like, if you got a job at the big three, like out of high school, like Ford, Chrysler, GM, you were set for life. People deemed you successful. So I changed what I thought my definition of success was. It went from being Jay-Z to saying, hey, if I can make as much as a person who works at this factory who people deem a success, and I can do it by doing something that I genuinely love, I'm successful. So I think you don't necessarily move the goalpost, but you realize that the field goal is just as important as the touchdown.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm at.
Where did the passion start, though? Because, just being from Detroit, you guys have... Is it, it's safe to say probably like the best music, right? Like,
well, look, so I go on record and I catch flack for it. I give props to New York because I understand where hip hop started. I give props to the West Coast because I understand where big hip hop started. And I feel like that's where the mega stars came from. Outside of like Run DMC in LA, I feel mega stars came from the West. But I feel if you're talking the technical aspect of just being an MC, being a rapper, Detroit breeds the best rappers on the face of the planet. That's excluding nobody. We're all technically super sound. Even if you're talking about our quote unquote street rappers, it's still the same level of technical ability. It's just the content that's different. So we have guys like Big Herc. We have guys like Cheddar Boy Malik, Street Lord Wine, and these are still really, really good rappers. You may not fuck with the content, but the technical aspect of it is good.
yeah.
So growing up in Detroit, being around rappers, you had to get good.
Yeah. So
get left.
Outside of like individual pride, which I'm sure obviously any artist who's good and worth their weight in gold is like, that's part of it.
Mhm.
Is there the influence from like the culture they won't respect you at all unless you're that nice? Like, so it weeds out.
Are you saying at home? Like,
yeah, and is that because I see the same, the amount of skill that comes out from Detroit, crazy.
Detroit, you have to be good at everything. I feel
Yeah, like you can't sleep. So is that the culture like almost forces it? Like if you're not good, you're not making it whatsoever.
I think it's tiers because I don't think that's a real thing either.
Okay.
I definitely think you can be successful without being talented if you have the desire to be successful, if you have the desire to put the work in. But in certain circles, there are tier circles, I definitely believe. And to get in certain circles, you have to be that good.
Okay.
Like, you can't necessarily come around me, or you couldn't come around Quest, you know what I'm saying, and thinking that we're peers if you weren't as good of a rapper. I can still respect what you do,
Sure.
but you're not fucking with me. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And then when you look in those circles, when I'm looking at a Guilty Simpson or a Royce 5'9",
Yeah, Guilty
or,
Simpson.
you know what I'm saying, or a Bodie or a Miss Corona or a Fat Father or a Elzai, I'm looking at people who can actually rap. And if I want to be in that tier, I have to rap as good as them.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't want to be in that tier, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to create the music I like. And that's it.
And if
But
you
if I want to be recognized by this tier, I have to
Yeah.
be as good as them.
it's so to get to that point, what does it take other than obviously your work ethic? Like, do you seek out mentorship or
No.
you just
Nah.
continue?
Okay.
That
grinding?
that wasn't a thing. Because you get clowned for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully, like at the younger age.
Sure.
At the older age, I think we all understand, you know, one hand washes the other.
Yeah.
You know, pull your brother up, blah, blah, blah. But when you young, let's get your shit up.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like, don't come out here and ask me how my fadeaway, how, you know what I'm saying, how I got this shot off.
Come on, man.
Get your shit off.
Yeah.
Get out here and get cooked by it until you learn how to do it.
I do have a question, if I'm okay to ask.
Go.
Javi, I just gotta make sure we're recording, man, because this is just crazy for me. You know what I mean?
No, actually, I haven't.
He's
No,
fucking
come on.
with you.
Come on, Javi. What we doing, bro?
Come on, man.
I'm over here being
You know,
prolific.
but we got
man.
Marv Won. Come on, I just
I'm
want
being
to say it
fucking
again.
prolific,
Jesus
man.
Christ. But my question, even with that, Marv, you know, was just, I know that's like with hip hop, but I was saying like in Detroit, just in general, like just the music in general, like what? Because you know, we can go the east side of like, oh well, what made you fall in love with like hip hop or whatever? But what about like, do you remember like the first record or like your first like memory at home where, you know, something was playing at the house and you're like, damn, I love music so much, or what made it click, or is there a specific record or a specific moment or a memory from when you were young that made you just appreciate music?
I think we're spoiled being from Detroit. I mean, for all intents and purposes, like, it is Motown.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, or the fucking Supremes, or the Jacksons, or Stevie Wonder, it's like,
That's why I say the best music.
yeah. So I can't pinpoint one record because they were all good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they were all records that changed the course of music. When you come from that, you know, you try to uphold that. My earliest memory of music, I remember my mom had a Run DMC King of Rock vinyl. She had me, she was pretty young. And I thought it was dope. I think it's dope that the music that my mom wants to listen to is the music that I make. You know what I'm saying? So I won't necessarily say she introduced me to it, but it was dope that it was a part of my makeup without me even knowing. So I don't know about one specific joint.
No, but it's just like all general.
Yeah, you know what I'm
just
saying?
like,
Music is a bop. You do everything in the music.
yeah.
You clean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you clean up, you cook,
Parties.
you know what I'm saying? Parties,
Get-togethers.
break up,
Yep.
fuck.
Healing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
you do everything in music. You got a shower playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like it's literally a soundtrack to your life. Like people are like, I've heard people ask the questions like, yo, would you rather go blind or deaf?
Yeah.
There's no way I could live without music. There's no way I
Yeah.
could live without sound. You know what I'm saying? I saw Ray Charles grab girl's wrist, so I can finagle that.
Yeah.
I can finagle that, but
Tell
not
the
being
beauty
able to
from the
hear 'em?
wrist. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Nah,
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Nice.
And then what about just in Detroit when it was like, because for me, the first, I think stuff that I heard from Detroit was probably, I would probably want to say like, it was probably Royce. You know, Royce. And then
How
I
old
got
are you?
into,
How old are you? What
Uh,
age range?
well, right now I'm 32.
How old are you?
34.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit older than you.
But can I say maybe or no? You think I can say host? I don't want to interrupt more.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Huh? But I was, I was like, so the first one I heard it was like Royce,
Mhm.
right? And that's like that probably because I followed Premiere a lot, you know. So
What was the first word song you heard?
Shake This. That's
Okay.
what I heard.
Not Boom?
No, that was second.
Oh,
Shake This. That's still, man. That's probably one of my songs to
Incredible.
get like locked in.
incredible.
That's one of my favorite songs. But then I started get into like producing a little bit, you know. So I used like Pete Rock, and then like DJ Premier, and then like when I saw Jay Dilla, that's like, yo, that's crazy, you know. And sometimes I think about just like that whole movement. Like one of my favorite albums is like Water for Chocolate, but how much of that? I feel like so many things. Neo Soul.
Where's the like Water for Chocolate?
We got.
Oh, you was like
like
you
Water
just
for
pointing at the wall like it's Mariah Carey. Bro.
No, we're like
All
Water
right.
Chocolate. But that Neo Soul movement, I feel like that's kind of like also a Detroit thing. But it was also like sometimes here in Utah, right, where we have to go out of our way to look for some of that music. I feel like sometimes it's more accredited to like the roots, you know, or like that sound. You know, a lot of stuff, like, or even Common, right? Like, we didn't know that all of that was coming from, like,
okay.
Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, for us, it's like that Jay Dilla was kind of making basically that sound and had that neo soul. Like, I'm not sure if is it fair to say like he kind of created that.
So, R.I.P. Jay Dilla.
Rip.
There are 2 points I want to speak on.
Okay.
So although Dilla may have been the face, his teacher is the person who I believe really created that sound. And he's a producer, musician by the name of Amp Fiddler. And Amp Fiddler just passed. Amp Fiddler, Amp Fiddler was a member of Parliament. And he's legitimately the person that taught.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's the person that legitimately taught Dilla how to make beats. You know what I'm saying? So he's the person who played the keys. He had the Rhodes. He had the MPs and all that. And they learned. It was a couple of them. It was Dilla. It was a producer named Wajid. A couple people from the city, and they learned from Amp Fiddler. So anything that Dilla did came from Amp Fiddler, respectfully. The other point that I wanted to touch on, although Royce may have been one of the first people that you heard in the mainstream.
Yeah.
The people that came before him are just as instrumental. So the Eshams, the bosses who just passed, R.I.P. Boss.
Yeah.
Awesome Dre. Like it's a lot of people from our city that set a ground, like set
the
a
platform.
Legit. It
build it
doesn't.
up.
I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily start.
Yes.
with Eminem and Royce,
Right.
or even Dilla at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, for that point. But it's dope that you heard it. It's dope that their reach was out here. You know
Yeah,
what
it's because then that tapped me into like Guilty Simpson,
Definitely
Black
the GOAT.
Milk.
The
You know what I
GOAT.
mean? While you start going kind of down that rabbit.
I just want to say
hole.
Guilty Simpson's the GOAT.
Yes, the first time I heard Javi, he remembers this. We got one of the rough drafts, and it was Take Notice. And then when he starts, you're like, bro, take notice.
So
I'm like, geez.
So let me explain. Like we had an open mic in the city called the Lush. Every Wednesday, this is where all the rappers would go. You know what I'm saying? Quest was in there. I was in there. But we were all chasing Guilty Simpson without question. There, we all had our machismo talk. Oh, I'm better than such and such. I'm better than you.
But not again.
None of us ever said I'm better than Guilty. So my first moment of feeling like I was gonna make it in the city as a rapper, I rapped at this open mic in Guilty. So to go to this open mic, like you either had to be known or you had to sign up to be like early in the list. I was underage, so I couldn't really get in. I think I might have paid the bouncer maybe like $5-10 to get in, and I missed the list. So I was the best shit since sliced bread in my crew. I'm like, oh, I'm the best thing smoking. Can't nobody rap better than me. So I said, very egotistically, I was like, man, let me go see what these other dudes doing. And I remember standing at the front of that stage and Guilty Simpson rap. And I'm not exaggerating. I was literally like, this is what God would sound like if he rapped. It was just so commanding. And Guilty is one of the people who has mastered the less is more technique. It's
He's
like,
talking, man. It's
every
crazy, man.
word means something. It's no fluff. It's no filler. And I have no problem going on record and saying that I've legitimately bit his style. Like I've definitely incorporated a lot of him and a lot of Royce into my style for sure.
Yeah.
Without question.
Damn, man, that's crazy.
I go to the movie, sit at the end and let my feet stick out. Any nigga with a problem get his teeth chipped out. What? We was like, what the hell?
Emulation is a form of flattery. So, hey, I mean, that's good. I think they'd be honored with that.
Man, Royce would talk some bullshit. He called me his oldest boy. Guilty, I said it a couple times, but you know, at least I'm not emulating whack people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also you have L-Site too, which, you know, that's another one on your album. You know, that's...
Boy, that was like catching a goddamn unicorn.
Yeah.
What?
And he's back on all DSPs. Shout out to L-Site. So if you guys are looking for
I don't even
L-Site.
know if Elzai got a phone, bro. Like, it is pointless trying to get in touch with him.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, though, I was able to snag one. This is my first Elzai feature.
You want to let's give it up for Marv. Come on, man. What's up with this album, man? I look at this album and I'm like, bro, like...
Let's get into the album.
It is scary, man. Like, you know, if I wanted to be an MC and like you're saying, all the people that you're... some of the features, I mean, you've obviously had, you know, songs with Royce, but just like the people that you work with, it's just... I'm not sure if... I guess you can't be... Could it be overwhelming, or what's maybe some words for me to be like, man, like, I know my pen is nice, but... Some of the people you're working with, like, damn, Marv.
No, you know what? It's humbling.
Yeah?
It's super humbling that these people, because I legitimately look up to, like, all the people that are on this project.
Yeah.
Specifically, like, I'm a legit fan of all these people. Like, all of their music is in my phone. So for them to like fuck with what I do enough to be like, oh yeah, Marv, like I want to create with you. It's more humbling than overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm more grateful.
Oh, got it.
I'm more grateful than nervous or scared.
Does that chip away a little bit at that feeling that you said that it will never love you, hip hop will never love you as much as it loved you? Or it will never love you back as much as you love it? Yeah.
No.
No?
It doesn't chip away at it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some very surreal moments.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get up here and sound like a grumpy Gus and be like, you know, hip hop is taken. Because hip hop has given me way more than I could have given it outside of time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's given me some very surreal moments. I'm really, really happy with some of the people that I can pick up my phone and call. You know what I'm saying? Like, 14-year-old me is ecstatic that Pharoah Monch texts me like, yo, this album is fire.
Pharoah Monch.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that blows my mind. Like, it's amazing to me, even though he's my friend, that, you know what I'm saying, Royce is like, yo, this is dope. Considering like, oh, I knew every word of I'm the King when you put that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to wear those little safari hats and people used to call me Marv the 5'9". Like, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's more humbling. I'm much more grateful than like nervous about being on the song. Because I know I can rap. So at this point, it's just about making the best product.
How long had you been wanting to sample Footsteps in the Dark? Because that's...
So, I have a thing. I have almost said fetish, which is crazy. But I do have a...
No judgment here.
Wild judgment. I have a thing for like trying to take popular songs and turning them into something else. Mm-hmm. So for me, because I'm a sample-based producer, you know what I'm saying, hip-hop is a puzzle. So I like to take a song and legitimately deconstruct it and try to put it back together. With that one, it was just like, it's never been done this way. It's never been done with a 4 on the floor kind of feel. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even want to fucking get up here and act like I'm a super producer that's like, oh, I can hear the beat in my head before. I'm not that.
But that's a hard popular song to flip into a good beat. That's why I asked like how long it's been in your head of like.
It wasn't. I think I might have just heard it and I was like, oh, nobody's ever used this part. Like, or nobody's put this part like in this order, in this succession. Like, that's what it was for me. Because honestly, it's not even any drums on that joint. Those are all the drums from the song.
From the song?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I might have put an 808 under it. But those are the
He might have.
But those are just chops from the song. It's such a good song, bro.
That's why for me it was just like you got to be. I mean, I know you're kind of being humble as a producer, but to make a song like that, you know, flip it into a beat. J Dilla, you know, won't do. Slum Village, Call Me.
Yeah,
They flipped it crazy too, and then yours, I was like, damn, all Detroit, they flipped this sample like this.
man, that is crazy. Dilla, BR
Right.
Gunner, me. That is crazy. That's crazy that I would even be in like something like that. Like, is I don't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's
And you
just-
guys flipped it different.
yeah, for sure.
That's what I meant, because obviously there's like the people know it from Today Was a Good Day,
Yeah,
you know. But your three, the way that you guys flipped it, crazy.
I appreciate that. You get somebody, it's an animal trying to get out. You got a spirit trying to get out.
You can let him be.
He's got 9 lives. He'll be fine. Do you have I know we were talking earlier before recording. Do you have a favorite track on this, or is this just like one aggregate of an entire passion project that is just you can't separate?
Aggregate is an incredible word.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. It varies. It changes from day to day, depending on my mood. I think the most challenging song to write on here was Purple.
Okay.
I think it's the most fulfilling too. I think Purple is the most fulfilling song.
Okay.
I really love Good Things. I really love that.
That one's hard, man.
I really love Higher because I feel like Higher was maybe one of the 2 songs where I'm really, really rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like that and Measuring Stick are the joints where I'm really, really rapping. So it just depends on the day.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But
Sure.
I would send people to Purple first.
You send them there first?
Yeah, because it's the heaviest song on there. If you can get through this, if you can get through this song, you can get through everything else.
Fair enough. I don't even know if we mentioned it, but in case we didn't, it's I'm Fine. Thanks for Asking is the name of the album.
Why did you title it that? Just literally for that? Just for the...
No, because everybody wants something. Like everybody wants something from it, and like rarely is it like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, can you? Hey, can I borrow? Hey, could you do? And it's just like, damn, bro. Like, no, I'm cool too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all right. Like,
So
I'm
it's like a
fine.
tongue-in-cheek kind of
Very.
Because sometimes that's the only time you hear from people is when...
is when they need something from you.
Yeah, and
some
it's like,
people.
cut to the chase. I know you need something. You might as well
Yeah.
just let
Tell
me know.
Yeah.
But at least make me feel like you fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like, at least ask me how my day was. You know what I'm saying? Before you just go right in for the kill. I be telling my little brother that all the time. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, I'm fine too.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking. It is very tongue in cheek.
Is that kind of how you felt too, I guess, with the whole Champion of the Year last year? Because I guess to bring up even my point from earlier with like, if you're now giving to hip hop, you know, you're giving back to it, and like, there's nothing for you to prove as far as like battling, right? So the fact that maybe you get taken for granted, it's like, oh, you know, old Marv is out here battling and stuff like that, but you're not.
Is that what they say?
That's what people say, you know. Some people say that.
Word?
Some
Not
people
us,
say
some
that,
people.
you know.
Word?
Yeah.
Not in Utah. We love
No,
Marv.
yeah.
Word?
You know, but when people are saying that, it's like, to me, it's like, don't they see the bigger picture of that? You know, it's like, yeah, he doesn't need to be battling, but he's like helping put other people on. He's helping create moments for up and comers, for up and coming leagues. You know, like you're doing a lot of that stuff where I don't think sometimes they take that into consideration.
Well, I think battle rap is all ego. I looked at that list, and of course, like my ego, like I wanted my ego stroked. Like I felt like I had a really, really good year. I felt like I had really, really good product. The realistic part of me stepped back and was like, hey, there are thousands of battle rappers. Legitimately thousands of battle rappers. And out of those thousands of battle rappers, for 12 months, people considered you top 20 out of thousands. After 20 some odd years of doing it, I think that's much more of an accomplishment than me complaining about where I was on the list, as opposed to not being on the list. So, like at first it was ego, just because I know the work I put into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I looked at some people above me on that list, and I was like, hey, none of these people had three-round battles in 6 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a really difficult task. Like, I haven't had a home game in years, so I make other places my home. Like I don't have a complaint about it. At first I did, just because I wanted that gratification. I kind of wanted to rub it in a couple other people's faces still, which is corny, but whatever. But But I was cool with 20 after a while. Like plus I wasn't willing to shit on anybody else to get in their spot. Like I didn't care enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What's the one thing that bugs me about hip hop, and maybe because when I see you just with mic masters and stuff, like people always they also call you super nice, you know. Oh, Marv is nice, marvelous Marv, right? They say other nice things about Marv.
Yeah, they do.
So they say those kind of things about you, and I just lost my train of thought, man.
Get it back. You got it.
Run
Drink
it
some
back.
water.
Yeah,
Run it back. Come on, hey, give me some claps. Run it back.
Hold it down. Come on.
Okay, yeah. How much, because sometimes people use like rap to just create a persona, right? And I feel like now, and I'm not sure if that's because now of maybe social media and stuff like that, where you can go trending, you can go viral for being ignorant. Like how many? I feel like there's like a lot of people that use like hip hop to create like a persona of like confidence they've never had, right? Or struggles they never had, and then they just wear something that the culture made, and they get maybe tats, they dress a certain way, but they never really were a part of that culture, So is there? I don't know. I'm not sure what my question would be. Like, does that ever bug you? Like, what that we can kind of also create that kind of person with hip hop, of somebody that just uses it for all like maybe negative aspects.
Yeah, using hip hop for ulterior motives, not for the craft of it, just for the glory of it all.
Because of confidence they've never had, or
I mean, you got to think hip hop started like being all inclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop was for the misfits and the outcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like in those neighborhoods. We never crucify an actor for playing a role. You know what I'm saying? Like none of us ever look at Denzel Washington and be like, yo, he's a piece of shit because he played Training Day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think in the early days, a lot of us didn't know that the business of rap was kayfabe. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us didn't know that this was Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage. Like we thought it was completely, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't know that they were selling a bigger picture. Once you realize that, you can just appreciate the art for what it is, because it's still talented writers. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. I take it with a grain of salt. I never really think anybody is completely who they are on those joints, because you get to be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that much in my 40s. In my 20s, it was definitely like, yo, I'm bleeding for this shit. I'm dying for this shit. Everybody should love it as much as I do. Now I don't. I'm cool with carving out my own niche, because you have to look in your mirror. I don't. Like, I'm cool every time I go to bed. Like, I've never done anything out of character or been weird. So I'm cool with that. Like somebody else's insecurity isn't my cross to bear. Fuck it. Your music's still not gonna be better than mine. Whether you telling 100% truth or 0% of it, it's not gonna be better than mine. So,
do you think we're gonna see a resurgence of maybe kind of like this type of content as far as albums? Because I guess one to go off just off the rip pretty fast, like 444, right? It's like older Jay, older Hove, just like talking about life growing up. This last year we had Killer Mike, win some Grammys, and now you're dropping an album like this. Is there going to be, do you feel like a resurgence of now like OGs just making, I don't know, music with substance? And not that they're, there's always that, but where maybe you're a little bit more careful into what you want to put out and what kind of message you're trying to get across?
I think so. You know it's a telltale sign too. I always say this. When artists name their albums like their names, like this is like, that's the one where it's going to be like, oh, this is me. Because I definitely thought about naming this album Marvin, for sure.
Oh, wow.
Thought about it. But I do think that there is a resurgence. I think there's going to be a resurgence, or we're currently in a resurgence of older rap, because we're still fans of the music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it was a very untapped market. Like, everything isn't going to be what's on the radio. That's not how people in my era really grew up. We got our music from mixtapes. We got our music from Rap City or whatever.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily
Sam Goody.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily the top 10 single. And I'm really happy that older artists are taking a chance and creating, because hip hop is the only genre that throws its older artists out.
Yeah.
If
It's a young man's game.
you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or
Or it
tell
feels
us
like that,
that
at least,
they
yeah.
tell us that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in rock and roll, the Stones
Yeah.
can tour to the
Tour,
80s.
yep.
They toured. They did the Super Bowl when they were what 70s.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think Jay-Z will be the first that will deem as cool when he's 60 and
60.
rapping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I'm all for that because he got a story to tell too. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it may not be something that a younger artist want to hear. They may not want to hear about paying a bill or aches and pains, but I can relate to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you clever, if you dope, you dope.
Yeah, that's something I think I've seen a lot of the older. I'm not judging your age, and but I want to bring this up. So track 8, Nosy.
Mhm.
I know I watched the Matt Hoffa interview with you earlier on this episode. You mentioned your mom.
Mhm.
I can safely say you're very close to her.
Mhm.
And so I like Nosy because you said you couldn't sell crack because
Yeah.
your mom.
Man, I
is
wanted
too
to-
Nose
nosy.
was too big.
I wanted to. I wanted to.
And yeah, so and that's part of the development. I'll save the lyrics so that people can kind of enjoy it.
I wanted to. I definitely wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I used to see that, like, drug dealers used to stay across the street from me. There's this one dude, I ain't gonna say his name, but he had, like, the finger waves and, like huge ass, like, herringbone chain, and he had, like, a Mustang GT. I was like, yo, I could do that. But my mom was, like, a drill sergeant. You know? She was like a legit security guard, so I couldn't bring nothing in her house. So I was like, man, even if I do get some dope, where I'm gonna put it?
I had the same experience. That's why I bring it up because my parents were very strict growing up, and even just the music I couldn't listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was frequently in the library. So I'd read there. I'd like get a CD on loan and just stay there and put it in my CD player to listen to it. Because if I were at home, they'd see it.
What CDs were you doing? What CDs were you doing?
I was new because I was from Miami,
Mhm.
and then like English is my second language. I
Okay.
didn't learn English till later. So Jay-Z was one of the first I started listening to at the age of 13. Black Album had just come out, and that production blew my
It's
mind.
a good place to start.
Yeah,
You
funny enough,
start Bow Wow. Come on.
I was about to say my first CD.
Yeah.
Bow Wow's
Which
what's
joint?
it called?
Which
Dogs Beware. The first one he
Yeah.
had, where he had the 2 pit bulls he was holding on to,
Okay.
Yeah.
and then Jermaine Dupri
This
produced
is,
it.
he was still Lil Bow Wow.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
still Lil
Lil
Bow
Bow
Wow.
Wow.
Lil.
And he had the Jermaine Dupri's production. I think he's a bit underrated as a producer. I like his.
Okay.
He has some bangers. That's what I mean.
I appreciate that.
And I don't think people talk about his bangers enough. But that kind of like got
He
me
do got some
into it.
bops.
Yes,
But he has more R&B bops.
yes.
He got like jagged edge bops or like escape bops.
yes.
Like his rap bops. Although he has some, like they're kind of few and far
Like
between.
Money Ain't a Thing is pretty good.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah. So
I'm not mad at that.
I just listened. But Jay. So I grew very close to East Coast, specifically New York. But then things started growing, of course, and obviously being from Florida, I had to check out Southern music. But where was I going with this? Oh, so because of that, so the relationship with your mom. When she hears these, have you been honest with her throughout your life, or does she hear this for the first time and think, my son wanted to sell crack? Now you have a discussion with her, or like, I'm assuming she listens to your music.
No, my mother does not listen.
Not listen to your music at all. Do you have these conversations with her or no?
No,
No.
no. It's pointless at this point. Like, I'm in my 40s. So talking about something I wanted to do when I was 16, 17, you know what I'm saying?
Sure, but I mean, maybe,
Pass the prom.
but maybe that could be part of the conversation, right? Because I'll admit I'm in this place because like my parents are obviously getting in a geriatric age. So back to you, the I'm fine, thanks. Like I, as a child, I think of how much I never showed appreciation, even if I was. So now in this age, I'm consistently talking to them, letting them know how much what they did meant for me, what they did, how it changed and impacted my life, and what kind of person it made me. So I figured, I don't know if those were.
No, I didn't really grow up in like an emotional household. Like, my mother had 3 boys,
Okay.
so there was very little time for coddling.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like, yo, the world isn't gonna coddle you.
Sure.
So I'm not either. And my mother also has a child with disabilities. So it was like, yeah, like, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't have time to kiss boo-boos and shit like that. Like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You're either gonna get over it or not. So I don't know if that made me distant. Not towards her, but just in general.
Sure.
I definitely know that I need to be more mindful of the time that I have with her and all of the sacrifices that she's made for me. But I also know what the nature of our relationship is.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't hug and kiss my mother. You know what I'm saying? She knows I love her. I know she loves me.
Gotcha.
But that's just not like, that's not the thing. So if she's like, she'll hear this song and laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
like, yeah, you knew better than to bring dope in my house. You know what I'm saying? And that'll be the end of the conversation, which is cool, which is good enough for me.
Yeah.
Legit.
And I asked that just simply because earlier when I was talking about it, if I could summarize the album in one word, the word I think that best comes to mind from my perspective would be vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
And because it is very vulnerable. And do you think that that's kind of like you can't see it coming down your eyes, so you got to make the song cry type of thing, where you put, if you're not expressive with emotions, that's where your pen comes into play, and that's your way to cathartically release it all.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Which may explain why, you know, I still battle rap, because there are times where I feel like I need acknowledgement, or I need validation. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Or I need my talent to be validated. So it's possible. But I think this was just organic. Like, I didn't go into it thinking that.
Okay.
I didn't go into it like, hey, this is going to be
okay.
Like, this is going to be my journal. Like,
Sure.
this is going to be cathartic. I didn't go into it with that. Like, the music literally found me. You know, I looked up 4 or 5 songs and was like, oh shit. Okay, let me just ride this wave.
Okay.
But, and look, I'm gonna keep it a bean.
Yeah.
With this project, one of my bigger inspirations was actually Quest. Quest McCody has an album that he worked on called Jonah. That's really, really fucking good. And I was really, really impressed with, you know what I'm saying, like how big it sounded. Like, and the vulnerability that he showed on a lot of those joints too. So when I went into this project, I wasn't necessarily trying to emulate it, but I think because I liked it so much that it kind of stayed with me. That was a really big part of this process. I don't even think if I really even told you that. That was a really big part of this project. Legit.
Yeah, thank you.
And what else can you tell us about this project, or maybe other stuff that you don't ever get to share about you or talk about? Because I know, you know, you always get asked basically the same question because who you're tied to in Detroit. But what are things that you've never gotten a chance to share? Maybe things that maybe people would be surprised to know about Marv.
So I think with this project, I think this is the first time that I can say confidently, like, yo, I'm smoking production. I'm smoking beats. Like, I'm kicking the shit out of this machine. Like, I'm getting something out of it. Now, I've produced whole projects for myself before. Soundtrack of Autumn, Sooner Than Later. I dropped the EP called Rabbits Can't Shoot. And those were all self-produced. But this is the one, top to bottom, where I'm like, yo, I'm not rapping on these beats because they're mine. I'm rapping on them because they're good. Like, if someone had sent these beats to me, I would pick them.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at now. I like producing more than rapping. I think that may be because in my mind, I've mastered rapping. And I'm still kind of apprehensive about production. Because out of these 10 beats, I got 30 that are garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got 30 that are garbage. I got 30 that are garbage. I got 25 that could be something. And then I got these 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm really, really happy with the production. And shouts to my man Maestro Williams from Silent Riot, who helped me really cultivate the joints and make them songs instead of just beats. Like, that's a really big thing I think a lot of people are missing. I have a really good village.
This is back to my point of like Detroit. You mean, you know, you guys are like rapper producers. You guys do basically everything. All of you guys know how to do.
We got no choice.
Well, not understating too. I think people think fashion. They think like L.A., New York. Detroit
Yeah,
is
I would
incredibly
say-
influential
Yeah.
We throw that
with
shit on.
fashion.
Yeah.
So
We
is
throw
that
that
always
shit
in the
on.
back of your mind that you have to put on for Detroit? Like there's no,
Bro,
because you're always
That's
I don't like
Common
the
was dressing like from Detroit, man.
dripped out.
Black Thought
you
was
know?
dressing like he
I
was from
agree.
Detroit.
Yeah,
But that was just because of the Dilla influence, though.
But that's still Detroit, though,
Very
right?
true, very true. And the crazy thing about the Dilla shit too is like, man, he gets mislabeled so much. Like people really have this idea of him being just like a fucking like backpacking, champ or burning kind of person. And it was like, no. When I saw him, he was legitimately in a strip club throwing thousands of dollars and spraying champagne on naked women. Like legit. We're all the same, or we all have a lot of the same characteristics. I don't know if I think I have to put on for Detroit because I am Detroit. You know what I'm saying?
well said.
Like, I may not be, like, I don't have to prove that I'm from Detroit. Like, I've spent my entire life there. I know what roads to go down, which ones not to.
Sure.
I know which Coney Islands to go to during the day and which ones not to go to at night. Like, it's just embedded in me. I don't feel like I have to unordinarily wave a Detroit flag. Like, it shows that I'm from Detroit. I love my city.
Yeah.
It's
You know
just
what I'm saying?
inherently a part of you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like the first words out of my mouth. The first words out my mouth aren't necessarily I'm from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like they know. Plus I put that shit on. I'll be fresh.
Yeah, I mean,
I
your
get
drip
fresh.
yesterday. Every time, but yeah, yesterday,
Come on,
man,
man.
it was
I get
crazy,
fresh. I get
bro.
fresh,
That was
man.
nice.
The custom,
Come
The
on,
Carhartt
man.
gear.
Come on, man.
you know,
Light
all
it
black
up.
everything you said on
Skeleton, yeah.
Rock Nation brunch,
Come
you know.
on,
Yeah,
man.
he wears
I get
all
crazy,
black on
man.
shit.
Come on, man. Living my life.
But let's maybe, what would be your ideal vacation? You could tell us.
My ideal vacation.
He brought it up earlier. You
We
know what
talked
I mean?
about this.
We talked about it. So what
Yeah.
would be Marv? He's going to be forced to take a vacation. What's going to be
All expenses paid, okay? Because I know that's
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah, bro. I don't.
Yeah,
it's
like-
crazy, bro. I
Yeah.
don't know how people pay for shit.
You don't have to worry about being.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Just say it's all
and
expenses
maybe you could
paid,
invite
you know?
us.
Yeah.
Shout out Hoodie Jer.
Pull up.
Yeah, because you're not spending
Pull up.
anything. Yeah. So
All
what's your ideal?
all
Where?
expenses
What are you
paid.
doing?
All expenses paid. There are two places that are bucket list places for me. And they're probably not the most glamorous, but one is Ireland. Ireland has always been a bucket list place for me. I feel like in my mind, it feels so lush and green and pastures and sound of music type shit. And they probably have incredible beer. Two is Australia. But I be seeing those fucking videos like the big ass like spiders and
Oh,
shit.
come
So
on.
that's
yeah.
in the outback, as they refer it to. But if you're like in Sydney, Australia, you're not gonna get that.
That's
The Opera
probably-
House. That's like very.
A couple of my hermanos, they don't know how to clean their house over in Australia, man.
Those spiders are like dogs, bro.
They're
Yeah,
like
I
plates.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, just straight on that. Like I'm moving out.
I'm eating good at night.
Maybe you could go to New Zealand, right?
New Zealand.
Yeah, it's closer to
New Zealand,
Australia,
yeah.
but it's not that.
In the country, like in the continental. I really love Denver. I like going to Denver.
Denver's a great city.
I really like coming here. I would love to come here. I would love to come to Salt Lake. Like not on some rap shit, but just like actually like
Yeah.
take in the culture. Like y'all got like a viewpoint, like where you can like look over the whole city. That shit is crazy. I'm not a big fan of New York. Not a big fan of LA.
Even upstate New York, where it's not like the boroughs.
I don't have much experience up there.
Okay.
I don't have much experience. Like the Buffaloes and the Rochesters. and things like
Syracuse
that.
is really nice.
Yeah, I don't have much experience up there. I just know when I go to New York, everybody's mean and the pizza is greasy. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to ask you about Detroit pizza, so we'll put
Come
a pin
on.
in that. We'll put
Come
a
on,
pin
we
in
can
that.
go right to it. Fuck
Oh,
all
we're
that
already
shit.
okay. So I disagree. I'm a pizza fanatic. I got a pizza pendant right now. Okay.
Okay.
So
Be mindful. Be mindful.
Hold on. Hey,
Okay.
wait till I get to my point. I've argued with people on the fact that Detroit and Chicago is not the same.
At all.
But okay, so what is your favorite style though? Like
Detroit style pizza for
just,
sure.
just flat out Detroit
The
pizza.
Chicago pizza is lasagna.
Yeah, come on,
it's a
bro.
lasagna.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Detroit because of the cheese melts on the
Come
crust and it's all
on,
green.
bro.
You bite into it,
Also, I believe that we have the best chain pizza.
and the sauce on top.
There's a spot named Jet's Pizza that makes
Oh.
the best pizza in my opinion.
It's just a local chain.
Bro, it's a chain, and I think there's some in like Ohio and other places. But Jet's Pizza, man, makes the best square pizza. Now, of course, you got Buddy's. Buddy's is really good. Shields is pretty good. Their sauce is kind of bitter. Or is it Buddy's? Buddy's sauce might be kind of bitter. Shields might be a little too sweet. Pizzapopolis, but again, that's like you take a girl there like after homecoming and shit, like and get her like a seafood pizza that's like $35, and you only gonna eat one slice because it's like lasagna.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But we do have local. We have local pizza places like Bob's, and we used to have Red Devil, stuff like that. But I don't even like round pizza.
You don't like round, so that means
Domino's.
that eliminates New York style pizza.
But see, here's the thing with New York style pizza. I'm of the belief that if I can take my pizza and turn it upside down and grease legitimately runs off the pizza, I'm straight. I don't need to be eating that.
Okay.
I shouldn't have to take a napkin and dab my pizza.
So you don't like Little Caesars?
No.
Come on, Marwan, come on. You know?
So what's the
Keys, you think you're gonna serve that at the Brock Nation brunch?
Hold up. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You know, Little Caesars is a Detroit brand.
That's why I asked.
So when I was growing, look, no, now we finna get. Now we finna get.
How often do I get Little Caesars, my buddy? Yeah.
Look, we finna get into some real shit. Fuck everything that just happened before this. Look, when I was growing up, Little Caesars was a delicacy pizza. Ooh. Little Caesars was really good. You just come in a paper sleeve. It was a pizza on each side, cardboard divider. Little Caesars is what you got. Little Caesars is what you got Friday night. Pizza Hut,
Detroit Hot Pocket, baby.
Pizza Hut is what you got for it was like a celebration. But Little Caesars was really good, highest quality ingredients. Now I'll tell you what I believe happened. Man. They start doing how like Girl Scouts do cookies. They start doing these things called pizza kits. Where you can make your own pizza at home. And that became the hot and ready. It's not the same. It's not the same pizza that I grew up on.
Okay.
It's the hot and ready that cut cost. Hey, we can sell pizza for $5 as opposed to $20. These will be out the window.
So Little Caesars are sellout chain.
Yeah.
They upgraded their business model.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To stay in business.
Yeah. Yeah, and they smoking shit. If I'm a college kid, I got $10. Yeah. Bro, it's Friday night, 2 pizzas.
Would you rather be underpaid or overrated? And they chose overrated.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's just like the 4 for $4, like at Wendy's. A college student had to invent that.
Same with Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is absolute trash. I don't understand.
And then you got McDonald's when they had the dollar. They took it away from us, but they had like 8 items on the dollar menu.
So here's my thing about that, and I'm saying this as an overweight person. The idea that I can get 2 pieces of bread, 2 pieces of meat, 2 pieces of cheese along with vegetables for $1 should give you some type of pause.
Yeah.
I can never go in a grocery store and get any of that for $1. Huh. You dig? So why is this company selling us all this shit for $1? Of course in America we're gluttonous. You know what I'm saying? You go to other places in the world. Yeah, for sure. You go to other places in the world. When I went to London for the first time, I was like, yo, where's the rest of the food?
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is a correct portion.
That's the
meal. For a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're not trying to feed a fucking
American size.
We're not trying to feed an ogre. I was like, yo, no leftovers? Like, I don't have enough to take home? It's like, nah, bro, this is it. Damn. This is a proper serving.
And I love Taco Bell, by the way.
So. No way. What? No
I
way.
Do. I love Taco Bell.
You like the convenience of Taco Bell.
That means I still love it.
There's no way.
People love strippers. I can't love Taco Bell.
There's no way you're like, man, a fucking Mexi melt would slap right now. There's no way you thinking that, bro.
No, but the cheesy gordita crunch does.
Man, relax, bro. You're bugging.
Maybe, but I still love it.
You love the convenience of it. That's just like, I love White Castle. I love White Castle, the little sliders, but that's because I know I can get them at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. I like White Castle.
If it's 2 p.m., I may not go get a White Castle.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like the convenience of Taco Bell. There's no way you like Taco Bell. There's no way you like the taste of Taco Bell.
Well, maybe we can discuss in a little bit more detail after.
Not the little caramel apple empanada.
The cinnamon twist? A little bit, huh?
No, not
he's talking about the caramel empanadas.
The caramel empanadas.
The ones that burn the roof of your mouth.
Those are game changers.
Okay.
Those are game changers, and the little potatoes. Remember the cheesy potatoes?
Yeah. Sugar.
Those.
Are you talking about the burrito though, or the one in the bowl?
Why would I put a potato in a burrito? That's crazy.
They do it.
That's double starch.
Yeah, well, I eat double starch a lot. Puerto Ricans, rice. You got plantains. That's a double starch.
No.
Yeah, they're both starches.
Neutralized. Okay.
I'm not.
I can make you Puerto Rican food if you've never had any.
I'm not.
Next time you show up, on proper time, we'll have a Rock Nation brunch. You think so? A Puerto Rican Rock Nation brunch.
Let's get a pop.
I can make you Puerto Rican food.
We ain't on Taco Bell.
To wrap it up, Marv, why should people listen to this album?
Because it's really good. And I'm saying that from the space of, even if it wasn't mine, I would like this project. And I think if you have a misconception, if you have a preconceived notion about me from battle rap, then this would change that.
Oh, that's a good guess.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this would change that. Like, I started battling to get free promotion for my music. Like, it was never like I never had any inclination to want to be the best battle rapper. It was just always free promotion for my music.
It was a means to an end.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It just kind of took off. It took off more than the music did. So I was like, hey, let's see this through. But my first passion has always been music. And this is the culmination of all those years, I think. And now the next project may blow this out the water. But this one right here, December, when it comes to December, I'm going to be in Album of the Year talks.
Yeah, that's why I was comparing it to like Killer Mike's. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be in Album of the Year talks. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at, in my opinion.
Can I ask you one more thing about those? Because I told you my favorite song was actually number 10, the last one, being Grand Piano. It felt like an epilogue of a book. Was it written intentionally that way, where it's like you put down the pen, you close the book, that is now the completed project, and
done.
You've closed that? So
I'm not an artist who records 20, 30 songs and then picks out of those.
Okay.
Like, I have a concise, like, after, like, once the album takes shape, I know where I'm going. I knew that song was going to be it. Didn't necessarily cut it in the order of it being last, but I knew when I cut that song, I was like, okay, there's nothing that's going to come after this.
It felt like closure to the entire album, and I think that's why I always like it. I used to, when I was younger, I just liked whatever hit hardest, right? Now I always like something that felt the most complete emotionally. It might not be the most vulnerable out of the 10 tracks, but it did feel like the summarization of it all, where this is the culmination of what this tongue-in-cheek title of I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking comes to be, and you close that, and there's the melody that's also pretty nice, having from Nate Curry, and another voice I heard. I'm like, who is this? And I had to check the track listing, and it was the Saga, so that was pretty cool.
Who's
to
an
see
incredible artist. Saga's
Yes.
an incredible artist, as is Nate Curry. I'm super duper happy that, like, they got on this joint with me.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
So I've grown an affinity for if someone that's why I wanted to ask. Now that I have you in face to face, when am I going to get to ask another artist about like their last track, like how them?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
I know.
I appreciate
Just like your intro.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I know how I want to open this up. I know how I want to close it. Everything in the middle will work itself out.
great, sounds good. You guys should for sure check it out. I enjoyed the album. I appreciate you giving us access early to listen to it. And
what was your favorite song on the album? Don't lie. Did you listen to it?
I didn't finish the whole thing, but good things for me.
Yeah.
That was the
That's a pretty good song.
yeah.
Okay. I just want to keep you on your toes.
And I resonated at the
good things.
beginning of the verse for rapper Big Pooh when he's like, I couldn't sell crack and I didn't want to.
Yeah,
His story turned out way different than mine, but I read with that first. I was laughing because
I
I heard
sell
yours. I'm like, that's not my. I liked it because it was almost funny in a way, comedic.
I wanted to sell
A comedic verse, and I appreciated it.
It was no joking behind it. I wanted to sell drugs.
A multifaceted album for sure.
I just want, and maybe we can manifest it, maybe because you have Big Pooh on it, but I was just like, when we get a Rock Nation Brunch remix with a Fonte singing on it a little bit, or
So what's super crazy is Fonte is on the short list of artists that I want to work with. So my short list of artists is Fonte, Rock Marciano. I want to work with this dude named Kai from Brownsville who runs with Rock Marciano, really incredible. And Pharaoh Monster's on that list too. What's crazy is when I sent Pooh the album, and he texted me like, yo, Fonte said this shit crazy. And I was like, man, tell him give me a verse. I ain't hear nothing back yet though.
because on the remix Rock Nation Brunch he sings sort of, I think that would be hard.
So look, on Rock Nation Brunch though,
Oh,
the original feature wasn't supposed to be Freeway.
Oh really?
It was supposed to be Jay Electronica.
Wow.
Oh damn!
It was supposed to be Jay Electronica, but
Damn, bro.
I felt the reality of getting him and Elza on the project was I wasn't gonna pull the little hair up in my head. I got out, and then Freeway just it made more sense for the type of joint it was.
And any last words or any shout outs or anything like that, Marv?
Just everybody who's listening, man. Shouts to you guys, Beans and Rice Podcast. I really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you guys having me on. Like, I really appreciate Mike Masters, like, really, really pouring into me. You know what I'm saying? Pause. like as an artist and as a battler. Shouts to Gabino, shouts to Hoodie. Shouts to Mellow Music Group. You know what I'm saying? That's who the album is coming out through.
And sorry, you can get cassettes, vinyl, CD. So obviously you can stream it, but low key, I'm gonna get a couple of cassettes. That's what I want.
I say, if you support the artist, buy the physical product. Streaming is cool. Streaming is cool. It's very microwave though. Can't cook a fucking meatloaf in a microwave. It's crazy.
It's the Taco Bell of supporting musical artists.
For $1.99,
bro.
I heard you,
like
man.
those bean and cheese burritos, bro.
They're like, yes, I do.
That shit is crazy.
You can read all the ingredients on the label.
What time do you get Taco Bell? Like what time?
You're right. It's late night.
Okay,
look, I'm not
it's
arguing
the convenience.
That. I still love it.
Do you be drunk?
Not often.
What's your Taco Bell?
He just likes
order?
to make poor decisions.
Cheesy gordita crunch really is just what I like. That's what I fuck with the most. And then when they have like the grilled stuffed burrito, just one, and then one grilled stuffed burrito is enough for me. And then a Mountain Dew.
What's your Baja Blast?
Sometimes I'm more of the original fan. I grew up drinking just the original Mountain Dew. Is nostalgic for me.
I saw a documentary where they were putting Mountain Dew in baby bottles. Whoa.
To feed the babies?
Yeah, for sure. Giving it to babies, for sure. It was called the Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. They were putting Mountain
emphasis
Dew
on the Wonderful Whites.
That's a documentary.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
You haven't seen some of them, bro? They're on Mountain Dew and cookies for breakfast.
Yeah, legit. Like
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
You've had co-workers that are on that diet. That's my point.
That's true.
Like
they're adults and they're eating that.
That's true.
Their baby teeth are rotting out. But I just bro.
Okay.
Like, what's your protein in your Taco Bell? You get the ground beef?
Yeah.
You're crazy, bro. You're crazy, bro. It's grade F meat, bro. That's crazy.
I think it's like 7 different meats that are like non-domesticated animals, like just different games. So
disgusting.
Yeah.
Man, to each his own, bro. To each his own.
To each their own, for sure. But
thank you guys for having me.
Appreciate you.
No, we're
Marv.
still on, so you can sign up properly.
Yeah, and I don't want to detract from your shout. Did you get all your shout outs and things done?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, shouts to hopefully somebody from Saucony, man. Come on, man, sponsor me.
I love Saucony's.
Man, my favorite shoe brand right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think they got the best collabs.
I only have the Stony Creek colorway one. I really like.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah, so
I like those. I got a wall full of them.
I wore them actually on Friday night. And someone stepped on them, which it didn't bother me. I just went home.
So
and
you threw them away.
But they have they're nice. Give him
give me some shit.
Yeah,
man.
give him a sponsorship. But
as I had these New Balances,
if they couldn't have seen it,
fuck with me.
But
I did say for you, Marv, and during the summer we're gonna have a concert, right? We're gonna at least do a couple of
songs. I want to do it. I want to come out here
for the album.
Yeah, I want to come out.
It's nice outside, so you can see because. When was the last time you've been here when it's nice outside? Was it spring training last year?
Yes.
It was a little bit
spring
nice.
training was nice then.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was finna clown Gabino.
But it wasn't like summer, huh?
I was finna clown Gabino. He only bring me
It was a little bit warmer. Yeah,
it was a little bit warmer.
There was one cooler day, but it was generally nice weather. At least we consider it. You're from Detroit. You guys worse weather out there. At least in winter, for sure.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, but... Yeah, anything else you want to say, Hoss?
No, again, I appreciate you coming through. He's really a humble guy. Like, just the fact with it, anytime I've said hi and thank you for coming out, that's all I really want to say, because I don't want to fuck up your steez when you're getting ready for battles or ruin your night, but it's nice to see that you're a humble dude. But so don't be afraid to, like, give yourself props. I know you said, like, oh, you guys are giving me too much credit.
Yeah, just like saying, like, like, oh man, we can't believe we got him here.
Like, I get it, bro. Yeah. From our perspective, though.
I'm just at the crib playing PGA.
I'm sure it was
2K23, baby.
Yeah. Well, look, you can play golf with him.
2K24. Question already has 2K26. The demo.
First of all, he don't even play golf, bro. It's 2K23. The 24 hasn't dropped yet, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 2K.
Yeah, see,
come on, man.
You see what I'm talking about? He's not in Tiger Talk. He's not Tiger Talk, bro.
He's not Tiger Talk.
He's not Tiger Talk, bro.
But I do appreciate you, Marv. I know I've told you before, at the battles. But for me in Utah, man, it's like it's so hard to work on stuff, especially like hip hop, because it's just like the culture doesn't really. And I guess that's everywhere, but here it's like the culture's already small, and then the culture already doesn't fuck with each other that much, So it's like even so for you to be just investing in the culture here, I think it goes a long way, because we even have maybe people that have like even a bigger voices and platforms that are here in Utah, and they're like, oh, there's no culture here. But just the event that we just had, last night, right? It's just like, what do you mean there's no culture here, right? It's like, I feel like there's in Utah, there's like this really big thing about like the culture wanting it to be like easy, where maybe like a Detroit or like a big city, right? Where there's a lot of like minorities, you know, where a lot of people, where it's easy to go support because it's basically around your own people, you know, which here it's like, yeah, you do maybe have to go a little bit more out of your way and stuff like that, but it's like we need your support more than any other city. And a lot of people dismiss Utah because like, oh, you see NBA or whatever, oh, there's just a bunch of races, there's just a bunch of this and that, and there's like, you can't even get your own people here to support you sometimes because they're just not. I'm not sure, man. It's just so that's why I appreciate you, because so seeing somebody like you just invest in the community, man, like for me that means a lot, because it's just like, yo, like these people care about it, you know, like that's what I meant about you also giving back to hip hop and everything like that, because you are giving back to us in a lot more than you could probably even imagine or maybe even take in, because we're the ones that are kind of seeing that things that we've missed, you know, things that we're like, oh, we don't have somebody here that'll dap up, and you know, you guys are taking pictures, you guys are cool, waiting for the whole event basically to finish, and you guys have been here multiple times. So for us, I think that means a lot. We're gonna keep building this shit, man, you know, it's just gonna continue to get bigger, and it's hard to keep making a bigger team and getting everybody involved that wants to like grow something, because that's one thing that there is not in Utah, is there's not like a platform where it's like for hip hop, you know, like there's not that. So even though we're small, man, like that's what I feel like Mike Masters, like what we're gonna be is we're gonna be that platform, and we're gonna take all those strides and put in all that work to build that platform that people say can't happen in Utah, but it just hasn't happened yet.
Hey, look, well, I appreciate, I like the product, so it's very easy when you appreciate the product. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be rocket science. Like, I fuck with what you do. Like, I fuck with what you guys present. So it's very easy for me to get behind it, Paul. And I'm just happy that, you know what I'm saying, you a lot, like, you know, you welcome us. So it's super easy. Also, I want to give you guys credit. Like, this is the first time I've probably done an interview in 20 years where there wasn't an Eminem question. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anytime.